Venus, you there? Okay, God, I really need to tell you something. I mean, I'm really embarrassed. So, I just, I feel ashamed and nervous telling you, but I feel like I need to tell you because I feel like you might understand like what's going on with me. I feel like honestly really crazy. So get this, was seriously embarrassing myself the other day. So John and I are planning our wedding, and I had asked him if he would want to go out to dinner this week and sit down and actually talk about the wedding plans, because he seems to be avoiding it, and it's starting to make me feel like a little bit uneasy that he's avoiding it so much. And so he's like, no, I can't because I have work and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll just go out with one of my girlfriends. I mean, I really wanted to try this restaurant anyway. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go with somebody else. So I go, sitting there, chatting up with my girlfriends, and I see him across the way at the restaurant with what looked like another girl. And immediately, I went into full anxiety mode, full panic mode, like literally like beast mode, like you don't want to be around me kind of mode. And I was like, okay, like this is it. Like this is what I've been preparing for in my dreams and my nightmares. Like I'm going to go beat him to it. I'm going to break up with him first, call it the wedding before he does it to me. Because I'm not letting that happen to me, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, getting my confidence to march up there and just go tell him how it is, because I'm not letting him fool me like that, right? And honestly, I feel like the only way I can describe this feeling that I had was like fight or flight, like that. We always talk about that, fight or flight, like, and I wanted to fight, like I was going to fight him, and I had like sweaty palms, and like I was just having like heart palpitations, just like insane anxiety. And I was gonna go up there, and I was gonna be the one to put an end to this stuff. So I march up there with a little attitude and a little courage, right? And he says, oh, hey, Ellie, this is my new boss I was just telling you about. And immediately I felt like the biggest idiot. Such an idiot, so embarrassed. But luckily I saved it. And I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And I don't think that she knew. But anyways, I was about to fight this girl, and I was about to fight him in this restaurant. And that is so unlike me. I was literally being so irrational. Like, I don't know where this, like, irrational thing came from. So, I mean, it's safe to say I almost self-sabotaged my own engagement, my own future wedding. So, I'm a little concerned about, like, what's going on with me, because this just doesn't feel right. I feel so irrational. I feel so off, really emotional and intense, high anxiety. And I feel like you know so much more about this kind of stuff than me. So I really need to hear your advice and your opinions. I just don't know what's wrong with me.
Hi, Ellie. Yes, I understand what you said very clearly, and I understand it as soon as you said fight or flight. And I'm going to take you back a couple of weeks ago when we learned about the chapter on emotions and the amygdala. Actually, what you just experienced is called the amygdala hijack. But before telling you about what it is, I wanted to kind of explain to you and help you understand what an amygdala hijack is and what parts are involved in that. Yes. When you said fight or flight, the first thing that came to my mind was amygdala hijack and amygdala. Let me explain to you a little bit more about the amygdala. Well, the amygdala is a collection of cells near the base of the brain. In fact, there's actually two amygdalae, one in each hemisphere or side of the brain. To be more specific, do you remember that the amygdala is located within the temporal lobes? Well, Ellie, the amygdala is the major part that's playing a big role because this is where emotions are given meaning. They're remembered and attached to associations as well as responses to them, or in other terms, emotional memories. And actually, the amygdala is considered to be part of the brain's limbic system. It's key to how you process strong emotions like fear and pleasure. Now, let me explain to you another component that was involved in your amygdala hijack, your fight or flight. And that's actually how I recognize your whole situation. Well, did you know that fight or flight, it's an automatic response to physical danger that allows you to react quickly without thinking? Actually, when you feel threatened and afraid, the amygdala automatically activates the fight or flight response by sending out signals to release stress hormones that prepare your body to fight or flight. To be more specific, your fight or flight response is actually triggered by emotions such as fear, anxiety, aggression, and anger. And it is clearly that maybe two of the emotions you were feeling while your whole situation happened when you saw your fiance sitting with another woman. Could it be either anxiety, fear, or anger? And that's like what you were feeling deep inside. Were you feeling anger towards seeing him with someone else? Were you feeling anxious about what is going on? Were you having feelings about fear of, is my wedding postponed? Like, this is why you had a fight or flight reaction. Now, the other part that's also playing a role between your whole amygdala hijack are the frontal lobes. And if you do not know, the frontal lobes are the two large areas at the front of your brain. And this is where thinking, reasoning, decision making, and planning happen. And in a matter of fact, the frontal lobes allow you to process and think about your emotions. You can manage these emotions and determine a logical response. But when you sense danger and you think that danger is present, your amygdala wants to automatically activate the fight or flight response immediately. However, at the same time, your frontal lobes are processing the information to determine if danger is actually present and to actually make a more logical response. Ellie, in your current situation, it is evident that the threat was not mild or moderate. And we know this because if the threat was mild or moderate, the frontal lobes would have overridden the amygdala, and your response would have been most rational. However, it is evident that the current threat that you were experiencing was very strong. And we know this because the amygdala acted very quickly. And it acted very quickly, overpowering the frontal lobes, which automatically triggered you to your fight or flight response. Yes, Ellie, actually, do you remember how you said that you actually began to regret the way that you reacted into the situation? Well, actually, when stress makes you feel strong anger, aggression, or fear, the fight or flight response is activated. It often results in a sudden, illogical, and irrational overreaction to the situation. And this is what happened to you in your current situation with your fiance. And then I do remember that you said that you were experiencing symptoms of a very rapid heartbeat, very sweaty palms, and I even think you said that you had goosebumps on your skin, but I do definitely remember that you said that even afterwards, you began to feel regret and embarrassment because you reflected and saw that your behavior was very inappropriate and irrational. Well, have you ever asked yourself about what are the symptoms of an amygdala hijack? Well, the symptoms of an amygdala hijack are due to the effects of two stress hormones, actually known as cortisol and adrenaline. Both hormones are released from your adrenal glands to prepare your body to either flight or fight. And actually, cortisol is a steroid hormone that affects many of your body's functions, including preparing you for the fight or flight response. The main job of adrenaline, also called epinephrine, is to stimulate your body system so they're ready to respond to a threat. No, I wasn't even recording. You've got to be kidding me, bro.